Why is it that your own chip has survived thousands of hours of validation in-house, and the ATE, automatic test equipment, electrical data is flawless? You thought the contract was secure. But the shock comes during the Tier 1's IQC, where microscopic solder joint cracks are found in the chips, and the entire batch is rejected. What exactly went wrong? Because ATE testing only confirms functional compliance, but cannot verify whether the internal chip structure is intact. But once the chip is in a car, subjected to heat and vibration, it's the beginning of a disaster. Facing Tesla, NVIDIA, and Qualcomm's strict requirements for zero defect, merely looking at electrical test results is simply not enough. DPA is the true key to verifying structural integrity and product lifetime. If you don't want your ticket to mass production to be shredded at the last minute, you absolutely must not skip the DPA step. What exactly is DPA? Why must it be implemented during the R&D stage? Today, we will take you deeply into how to use DPA to expose those potential internal injuries that dodged ATE testing, ensuring your product safely enters the Tier 1 supply chain. Hello, everyone, welcome back to iST Ease Your Pain. I'm your host today, Hsianglan. If you want to follow the latest semiconductor news, remember to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. In the world of automotive chips, an engineer's worst nightmare isn't failing right from the start, but rather, despite perfectly passing ATE electrical tests, the shipment gets rejected by the customer. My chip functions normally and conducts perfectly. Why is it still not acceptable? In the 2026 automotive market, with the popularization of zonal architecture, chips might be installed right next to the engine or motor, facing the extreme environments of high heat and high vibration. Why push the chips into such extreme environments to operate? Because the closer the chips are to the motor, the more they can reduce communication latency. They can also save kilometers of copper transmission wires. This reduced vehicle weight can directly translate to increased driving range. But this also forces chip packaging to face thermal expansion and contraction. At this point, what engineers have to face is no longer just whether it conducts electricity, but whether the structure is robust enough. As mentioned earlier, a wire bond interface of some chips might already have cracks. It still conducts electricity under ATE testing, resulting in a pass display. Once these time bombs are in a car, a few thermal expansion cycles will cause them to snap completely. This is exactly why we need DPA. Simply put, DPA is like a comprehensive physical exam. Its sole purpose is to expose those that manage to dodge ATE testing, but might soon fail due to potential internal injuries. If you've switched to copper wire packaging to cut costs, you must pay even more attention. Because copper is harder, it can easily, during the bonding process, cause cratering on the underlying aluminum pads. If we do not perform DPA, we simply cannot see these invisible cracks. Therefore, DPA is not an optional add-on. According to AEC specifications, especially AEC Q006, DPA has become a mandatory requirement for quality assurance. iST has observed that many R&D teams get stuck at this hurdle. To help everyone avoid these landmines, iST uses DPA methods, wire bond shear, wire bond pull, and crater test, and cross-section, to inspect these hidden risks invisible to the naked eye. For example, we once helped a client intercept a disaster. An automotive IC batch passed ATE testing 100%, but when we looked through DPA cross-sectioning, we discovered that the passivation layer actually already had tiny cracks. If they had been shipped without DPA interception, this batch of chips later could have led to massive field recalls. Another case is about the copper wire process. Although the client's chip shear values were within spec, we found during the DPA analysis that the IMC growth at the solder joint was uneven, showing signs of a bonding crack. This is a classic pass now, fail later illusion. Through DPA analysis we can pinpoint the exact location of the lead frame and the molding compound's delamination issues, helping the client find it's due to the coefficient of thermal expansion mismatch causing the failure, allowing the client to reselect molding compounds to fundamentally solve the problem. Therefore, for IC design companies, DPA should not be viewed as an extra cost, but rather as insurance for shipping safety. When your competitors can only produce an ATE report, and you can simultaneously provide a DPA from an independent third-party lab's comprehensive analysis report, it signals more than just quality. It signals your expertise in understanding automotive standards. In 2026, the rules of the game for vehicle development have completely changed. Don't let a $1 chip ruin your $10 million order. Before sending samples to Tier 1, first use DPA to do one last health check. Do you want the iST DPA test flow? Feel free to contact us, and you can request this exquisite chart. That helps you avoid the risk of return. Want to see more case studies and test sharing? Join us on LinkedIn or Facebook. If there's a topic you want to see, drop it in the comments. That's a wrap for today. See you. Like, subscribe, share, turn on the notification bell so you won't miss out.